Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Kenny, joined by my main two co-pilots right here, man, doing this whole Last of Us thing one more time. It's the Miguelito, it's the El Skippo, man. We're back. It's Last of Us. You already know the deal, man. We're doing it earlier than usual because the episode dropped earlier than usual because you got the whole freaking Super Bowl thing dropping on us. We got that Last of Us, baby. It's episode 4. Yeah, good job, man. It's episode 5.
Yeah.
It's the typos, y'all.
Hold up.
It's the
I
typos,
was like,
y'all.
give it a second.
It's the typos right there, y'all. So you know the deal. It's a fucking typo. Oh, well.
It's
We
an
all
easy
know
fix
it's a
post.
typo.
Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
fix post. Well,
Easy
hey,
fix
I'm not even
post.
going to fix it in post, bro. We all know it's episode 5 in the title. We all know the deal. It's all good, man. Episode 4 in the freaking image right there. That's great. But yeah, episode 5, guys. The big anticipated introduction of Henry and Sam for a lot of the game fans out there. I have not personally got through the whole game, so I didn't know about these characters at all. You haven't played the game. You don't know about these characters at all. You don't watch the previews for the
I don't
episodes
watch
next
none
week
of
or
that
nothing.
stuff. Yep.
So actually, man, we're not going to be getting too much into those previews because I already spoiled something for him. But if y'all watch the previews, you know the deal. But we're going to spoil the hell out of episode 5, but we're not going to talk about nothing for episode 6.
Spoiled like
But we're going to spoil everything from the game
3-month-old milk.
in episode 5. So everything from the game, too. So we're going to
Smells.
spoil that, too. The game stuff and the episode itself, anything that has to do with the Sam Henry content in the game, we're spoiling it. Just so you know. But yeah, we're going to get all into the nitty gritty details. But yeah, man.
Nitty gritty. Okay. Who should start off? Kenny? Actually, yeah. Skips and I usually start off our thoughts and ideas and how we enjoy the episode most of the time. I want to hear you, Kenny. You start off this golden episode of episode 5 of Last of Us, please.
Yeah,
heck yeah.
man.
Okay,
Not like the image of episode 4. But
Yeah.
man. We're coming at you. But speaking of episode 4, that was the number one thing I loved about this episode 5 because I absolutely adored this episode. This, to me, actually, after thinking about it, after we discussed it a little bit off the air, kind of before we got this thing rolling and through text and all that stuff, I will say this is my favorite episode of the season. And honestly, man, this is really becoming one of the strongest season 1s I might have ever seen.
Yeah.
And like
For me.
any
like
show
For
ever?
me, yeah. Because I have not watched
okay.
a ton of shows. I probably maybe watched 20, 30 shows in my life or something like that.
Yeah.
Including sitcoms. So I'm like, I didn't watch like a ton of television like some people. I watch a lot of movies. Y'all know me.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of catching up on a lot of TV series, Game of Thrones and whatnot and all that stuff. So for me, man, this is one of the strongest season 1s for sure, man. Like if it continues on this path, this might be one of the best season 1s, at least for me, in my personal opinion, man, because there's not been any lull. And for this episode, just the introduction of Sam and Henry, to me, man, I was just instantly bonded with those characters, instantly invested. It was just on the edge of my seat to be like, what the hell did Henry do to deserve this hate that we're getting from, what's her name again? From Melanie Linsky's character?
There you go.
From Melanie?
I'm forgetting her name. Kathleen,
Isn't it
thank
Kathleen?
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Kathleen, man. She was on a mission to get his ass, man. I just could not wait to find out what went down. And when you did, when you figure out what he's doing, when you figure out both sides of the story,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful storytelling, man. Like, I absolutely adored this episode. Everything with Ellie and Joel was great as well, but I love the heavy focus of Henry and Sam in this episode. They were the heart of the episode, and they were just such a great companion to Ellie and Joel along the journey. It just completely enhanced everything, man. And I think they did a great job in adapting the stuff from the game. And I think from the details that I know, and more of the details we'll get into in a bit, I think they improved upon that particular part of the storyline and matched everything else perfectly. So I absolutely adored this episode, man. It's the best one to me personally.
I agree. It was a really strong episode. I think it's also my favorite episode of the whole season for now. It's,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh, hell yeah.
it's really good.
Mr. trolling me earlier with the text messages. Oh, it's okay,
I
bro.
know, I
I'm
was
like,
like, what?
hold up. What the
I'm
fuck?
like, what were you watching, dog?
This show that it really does a great thing at is taking out some of characters you get to love in like a matter of 30 to 20 minutes.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
crazy how they do that from like obviously Joel's daughter to Tess, to freaking Bill and
Now
Frank and like
this.
oh my god, I'm
like,
literally
every
naming everybody,
episode-
but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
holy damn, man.
It's like every episode but last episode, sort of,
God,
but
yeah.
not really
Yeah,
because people still died.
Yeah,
but you
for
just
real.
didn't connect to them
Exactly.
like that. But it was like people still died. I was like, God damn! Like
And-
the doctor got shot in the face by Kathleen, and then dude got killed by Joel, but
Yeah.
more rightfully so a bit.
Yeah, that's the truth because like in that scenario within that last episode, I mean, shit, they were caught in that corner, right? I mean, there's nothing much you can do.
And we got to see that whole different perspective in this episode, so that was just like super cool, man. The way that both of these episodes come together in just like one storyline.
Exactly.
Man. It's like a mini movie,
I really like how I like how when either movies or shows have like another like in the same storyline but a different perspective, how you get to see Sam and Henry see freaking Joel and Ellie get into the city and killing the other like resistant soldiers or whatever,
the hunters.
the hunters, yeah. Like I really like that stuff, like just from a different perspective from what you originally saw, and you're like, oh, that's what's going on. Oh, that's what you saw from that building. Like it's just cool stuff like that.
Exactly.
I like the Silent Twos, dude. When I seen that throughout this later in the episode with Sam and everybody, I was like, fuck, dude, that's pretty clean. Like that whole scenario playing out from their perspective,
Yeah.
and then going on ending like pretty much towards the last part of the last week's episode. I thought it was pretty awesome that they did that way.
Yeah, I thought they just ran into each other, but then I realized like, oh nah, Sam and Henry are following, freaking Joel and Ellie,
Yeah, they were like on their tails pretty much, and then that's when they got to jump on them. That's what I enjoyed that a lot. That's like it's one of the things I do like about this show, that they're able to have like that continuity from like what they have to like from the previous episodes and how they can play off towards like the next one and stuff.
Yeah, then for sure, like, yeah, should we start breaking down the episode then, or no? Well, what do you think, Skips? Is it your favorite episode of the season?
Yeah, I already knew going into it this is gonna be my favorite. This is like one of the, if that's like one of those scenes. There's like probably like maybe two more scenes that I could see him like making an episode out of that could be pretty big. But this one was like I knew when I see the preview of it, or actually not even the preview, when I seen when I seen Sam at first, I was like, okay, I already know this is gonna be Sam, and Henry's gonna be over there. Which he had Henry pointing the gun at Ellie already, so I already kind of know. Okay, this is the storyline they're gonna go for. They're gonna go within this week's episode. So I had a feeling it's gonna be pretty high, intense, like towards like a certain portion of it, which was like the ending of the episode. And then like the whole build up pretty much of like why Henry and Sam's kind of running away, or why Henry's really running away. And the main difference of that is pretty much we got like we talked about in the past. This is more of character development within the show and compared to the game. Because in the game we only know about him for a little bit amount of time, but in the show, we learned a lot more about him. We learned a lot more about why Henry was on the run. It kind of in the show sense, and kind of like go through that journey, and that change that and the change that's very noticeable by everybody, that Sam wasn't deaf. Sam is technically the same age, is around the same age as Ellie in the game, but in the show he's like a couple years younger.
Yeah, I think he's like 11 if I'm not mistaken, and then Ellie's like what 14.
14,
Yeah.
15. Yeah, it's like around there, and then that's one of the key differences. So like I like the swap ups like that. I like that a lot because it kind of gives the characters kind of a little bit more rich development, pretty much. So, like throughout the time we have of them throughout the episodes so far.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that. I thought you like learned the same information other than Sam being blind. So that's actually pretty cool to see just how much they expanded upon it in this show. But that's not really too surprising because they've done that for every single character. Excuse me. In the show, like from Bill and Frank, obviously, to even Joel and Tess themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're definitely going to expand on Ellie at some point between episodes, 6 through 9, since those are the episodes that are left, obviously. But I'd probably say in the latter 2 or something like that, because the actress that played Ellie in the game is supposed to be playing her mother in the show. So,
oh damn,
pretty interesting to see.
Wait.
And they announced that on the fucking casting thing.
Say that again.
like the actress, like that voice acted as Ellie is gonna play Bella Ramsey's like
what really?
mom. Yeah,
She's that
Oh,
old
yeah?
already? She wasn't a little girl when she was when
I
they
think
were.
she was a teenager maybe then. And the game's like
Whoa.
10 years old.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's been around for a while, bro.
Yeah, it's literally
Damn,
10
that's-
years old this year.
Damn.
No,
Okay.
but it's interesting though. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
I really like how this episode started off with like a huge riot. That was pretty
Oh,
cool.
I was gonna ask you guys, how did you guys feel with that? Like right off the rip, like the resistance
was
just going
freaking
crazy on
intense.
Fedra.
I thought
that
it
was-
was cool.
It
Yeah,
was, dude. Like fucking them like the second like that was like when they took over and shit like that. Like that was crazy, dude. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, what is this? And then they're like, fuck Fedra. I was like, oh, I get what's going on.
Yeah.
And fucking Skips had explained all that shit to
Yep.
me, and I was like, oh damn.
Some good old revolution going on.
Yeah, bro. La revolution.
Huge.
La
Like-
revolution.
And how the Fedra agents was getting like killed in mass, like just getting like torn to
Yeah.
shreds, pretty
not,
much.
Not
I was
even like beat
fuck.
up. Like they were getting beaten down. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
they
getting
deserved
crowbars
it,
to the
dude.
face, shots in the head, freaking hung, freaking burned, like everything. Yeah, that was some good stuff.
yeah, and then like throughout that, this was like kind of like I guess it before, because that's when Henry and Sam was kind of hiding from in the back, and they were like, I think in the intercom when that vehicle was passing by them, they were saying that collaborators, if there's any collaborators still out hiding, please reveal yourself now, and we'll give you a fair trial. And I mean, if I was a collaborator and I seen like a guy being dragged on the street,
I think he even had knives on him.
The second
he had
I
a
saw
bunch
that,
of knives on him. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck that. And I'm not
I'd have
doing
been
that.
gone like Henry, bro. You ain't
Yeah.
seeing my ass again if I was a collaborator for some reason. Like, no, thank you.
I kind of understand, and I don't understand what the collaborator does. Like, well, I don't understand what he does. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys.
A collaborator is like a rat. It's like a
Yeah.
huge rat. It's like
That's just
under
the word
Fed,
they use for it.
it's like a Fedra is like is like pretty much like high end. Like I guess it's a government in a sense level
The government regime. you know?
regime pretty much. And if you pretty much what they'll do is like in the collaborators within the series that they'll say like if you're a collaborator, then what they do is give out information that the Fedra wants, like someone like something about the resistance, something about some people doing this, like some mischiefs. They will reward them for ratting them out, and they'll give them food,
Oh,
medicine.
okay.
That and then
That makes
that's
more
kind
sense.
and that's
Yep,
kind of
which
why
ties
like
directly in, yeah.
yeah, that's why it ties a little bit with Henry, because Henry did it for the medicine on his
Yeah.
end, pretty much.
Yep.
So that's what collaborators are. That's why when Joel like later on says like, "Oh, you're like, what are you?" And that's when Henry said, "I'm a collaborator." That's
He's like,
when
I don't work with rats.
I don't work with fucking yeah. He was like, I don't want to work with fucking rats because it's like kind of a I guess a known well known spread thing throughout the Fedra camps and all that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what it was. So collaborators, if you got that on your head, I mean,
You
shit,
better
I don't-
hide like a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn.
if you're gonna be a rat, you gotta hide like a rat. That's all.
yeah,
it is.
that's a good one. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. But fucking yeah, so from that fucking cold open, there's your cold open, Miguel.
Oh yeah, it was really good one.
Are you
you know?
satisfied with that one?
Yeah, that was good.
Fucking I had heard about so I don't know if you know about this, Skips, but like one thing from the game, it was like almost like a side story, like that's not necessarily like mandatory to the gameplay of like this main story. But like if you find these little notes at this particular point in the game, it's about this character named Ish of this like little like community that lives in like the sewer area where they ended up going to later in the episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
I know
like,
what you're
there's
talking
a
about.
whole thing that leads in there, but I'll wait into that portion of the breakdown to really fully flesh that out and see what you guys think, and maybe if they should have threw it in the show, but they sort of threw it in the show either way. But we'll kind of get into it in a bit. But from that freaking cold open right there, you jump right into freaking Henry, Sam, and the doctor dude chilling there at the spot, and
Like in his attic.
yeah, in the attic and everything like that, and they're hiding out. You know what I'm saying? They got a little bit of food for the meantime, but the doctor's like, "Oh yeah, so I'm gonna go get some more shit or whatever." And then he's all like, "Hey, you know, you look scared. You need to talk to your brother. You know, you need to calm him down and everything like that." And he tries to comfort him as much as he can, and then you find out. And that's when you get the introduction of Sam actually being deaf at that moment right
Yeah.
there. And just the way they handle it, you know, just love the way that they just get right into it. You know, he's got the ASL going on and everything like that. And he's communicating with him and letting him know that he'll be back and he'll be back with food and all that stuff.
Spoiler alert: he doesn't come back.
Because we saw him get shot in the face last episode.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, he ain't coming back, brother.
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back for shit, bro. He's
He ain't
done.
coming back ever again, sir. So it's 10 days later. He ain't came back because his ass has been dead.
10 days pass?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
after
my
10
gosh,
days.
I thought he said just like 2 days. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because
It was like a couple
at that
days.
point, and he hadn't been shot yet at this moment when we pick up with him in the episode, right?
Yeah.
Technically, right? We're on some Tarantino, Pulp Fiction type shit. So
If I could remember, yeah.
it's 10 days later, earlier in the day, but not at the point where we left the episode off in episode 4. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And Joel and Ellie get cornered right there. Henry's like, "Oh shit, dude ain't back." They were cornered right there, but he managed to take him out. We need to team up with those guys. I got a new plan. So they ended up going with that, and they ended up getting out of there, and that's where they end up confronting Ellie and Joel, where we left off at the end
Last episode, yeah. At the end of the last
of
episode.
episode 4. And then from that point, we have the whole confrontation of like, oh shit, Joel's all just like fucking ready to go at any moment. And Bella,
Yeah.
freaking Ellie's like, yo, you need to calm down. Chill out, dude. Stop being an asshole. He just has an asshole voice. Calm down.
Oh yeah, throughout that whole, I like that little thing that they had going on between Joe and Ellie, that little relationship banter. I like
Yep.
that. And then like Joe didn't help that case at all. Like if I was fucking
Can I sit
Henry,
up?
yeah, yeah, like if I was Henry, I'm like, yeah, I don't trust this guy for one bit. I ain't going to mess with it. But he didn't have a loaded gun. So
Yeah, he had 2 guns, no bullets. That's pretty wild. So he kind of in a way had to trust them, you know?
Yeah, he was kind of had to play that bluff. Hopefully, they were gonna take it. But I liked that interaction between the two.
exchange,
Yeah.
It was freaking good, man. And like freaking, Bella Ramsey coming in, killing it once again. And then freaking, that's when you get introduced to Lamar Johnson's freaking Henry there. And then he's all like, all right, cool. Let's calm down and let's everyone chill out. And then they end up collaborating from there. And what ended up happening next?
What ended up happening was that like they kind of got done. I guess they were able to finally relax. These pretty much set up for the night, and they were kind of talking to each other like a little bit. They were talking about kind of introducing themselves.
Yeah.
It was like pretty much Henry and
right,
Sam talking to them and asking their names, and then that's when Ellie was introducing herself, and Joel, you kind of see like Ellie kind of having that influence because like Ellie's kind of like forcing Joel to kind of like introduce himself a bit because like Joel didn't want to say anything about his name. He's like, oh, I'm just like a guy that who's just there. I'm just a dude who just happens to be here. But that's when Ellie just says like, his like he made Joel like Joel say his name, and then they were kind of going off, kind of introducing themselves. Joel gave Sam pretty much some extra food, kind of gave him like some, I guess like some crackers or some shit, but it was something throughout there. And then that's when they cut it off to the next scene, which pretty much actually no, the next scene was actually with
Talking to other wait, what's the name talking about right now?
Kathleen.
They're
I was gonna
they're
say, we
talking to
jumped
the
over
other
to Kathleen, right?
They're talking to the other rats, right?
Collaborators,
Oh,
yeah. In that
collaborators.
jail cell. And she's like, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rounded you up because I'm about to fucking kill all of you if you don't
Yeah,
tell me
pretty
what I
much.
want to fucking know. And then
Yeah.
they're like, and then
like,
fucking zoinks, and they don't say shit. And then she's like, all right, kill them all.
Yeah, dude, she's fucking.
And we ain't talking Metallica, y'all.
Yeah, God. Yeah, dude. And then like she knows she's gonna get something out of them because all of them were filled with they're nothing but rats. They're collaborators. So one person pretty much spilled the beans about Henry, gave her all the details of where he was last seen or known of.
Yep. And guess what, kids? She went back there, and then the dude was like, hey, do you need to be doing all this looking for this guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't we have other shit we should be doing? And she's like, motherfucker, what you say to me? What's your priority right now? And he's like, yeah, I get it. And she's like, make sure you burn the bodies. And I was like, yep, that makes sense. She's going to kill him anyway. All right, great.
Yeah.
So she's fucked up, obviously.
She like murked. Yeah, she did like walk. I even when he walked in there loaded, I'm like, dude, this is like it only takes like 2-3 guys maybe. I mean, you don't have to go that extreme. I mean, shit. But yeah, we seen in that scene that she was pretty ruthless. Like she can be ruthless at times. We see a little bit more of her ruthlessness down the line of her character. So like that's pretty much wraps up like Kathleen's side of things. Then we go back to, if I could remember, back to like the morning time.
Yeah.
And then that's when Joel Joel and Henry are trying to create a plan.
They're already on
Yeah.
top of the building.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
then that high rise or whatever.
Yep.
Looking
Yeah,
over the city and shit, and they're like, all right, so we need to figure out where we're gonna go and all this other stuff. And then Henry ends up devising a plan for them to do. And then Joel's like, I don't know, man. And then he's like, you got something better in mind, motherfucker? Essentially, without saying it that way.
Yeah, pretty
and then
much.
Sam's like, what is he saying? And then Henry's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like he
He's-
says
he's-
it's a good plan.
Yeah, it's like gonna be a good plan, and it's like, and it makes sense for Joel's Joel's point of view because it's like the sewer.
He's
and
hella
they're
experienced
taking
too. And
tunnels?
he's like, man, I don't know
yeah,
about
like
that
the tunnel
motherfucking tunnel.
sites. Yeah, and it's a lot because like the thing is too, and Henry mentioned this as well. I don't know, I can't remember if Kathleen did, but like I would say Henry for right now. Henry kind of mentioned like a lot of the infected was underground, and
Yep,
that was like
they
where
drove them all down there.
yeah. And that was like, and that's why like Joe was like, I don't know if we should go with this plan because if there are all below at this point in time, all of them are clickers because no one's newly infected or anything like that. So
Yep.
all of them must be clickers at that point because it's 20 years. 20 years is a long time, and throughout that duration of
Yep.
them being infected with that virus, they will eventually turn into a clicker. And that's a huge price risk because they don't have anything. Like I think even if they had to run into 2 clickers, it's still a lot for them because I don't think Joe had a lot of bullets at the time. So
Nope.
I can kind of see why Joe was like, I don't know, like that's a huge fucking risk, and it's
Yeah.
somewhere dark. It's underground. There's no space. There's no way for them to maneuver around if they wanted to. So
Yeah,
that's
I'm
that's a
Sorry,
scary
go
thought.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's a scary thought.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't any clickers when they were going down the tunnel. Just
I was surprised at that too. I
to
was
start-
like, oh
to
shit.
give us a
that's
little taste of what's
surprise.
gonna come for the later of the episode.
But
Nah,
they said, hold your fucking horses, homie. They said,
Yeah.
calm down, no, I got you, because they go down in the tunnels and everything like that, and it almost looks straight out of the game when they're down there, dude. Too, it's like it's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
And they make their way down there, and they're talking a little bit.
there's no clickers in the game when you're going down this tunnel.
and there is like a couple of them. So like the thing is with that, it's like it was a community that was down there, right?
Yep.
And this is like, here's another thing that was kind of different too. There is how they get to the sewers in the game is that Joel and Ellie and Henry and Sam were kind of they kind of got split off. And that was because they ran into, I believe it was Fedra agents at the time, and within the game, if I could remember. And that's when Joel and Ellie was running on their own, separated from Henry and Sam, because Henry ditched Joel and Ellie because like the way for them to get up, for Joel to get up, was on top of a truck, and that's when that's when Henry decided to ditch him, and then Sam was kind of forced to go with him, but Ellie stayed back to help out with Joel.
Damn, what?
It was like it's a whole different thing, but the difference is like the sewer and how they get there is completely different because
Wow.
like Joel and Ellie run from the bridge and they are first to jump into the river, kind of like that river that we seen towards the later of this episode. They kind of had to jump into the river for them to get out of the to escape from Fedra because they were like trapped in a corner and they were like shooting them down with like a turret gun pretty much, or they were shooting them down when they were trying to with like machine guns in a sense. And then that's when they jumped into the river. They get washed up, but technically they should have died. But Henry and Sam was there to save Joel and Ellie because since Ellie didn't know how to swim and they were kind of forced to be in that situation, Joel was forced to like pretty much hug Ellie, trying to swim above. But the current was so strong that it was impossible for Joel to maneuver around there.
This was in the game.
This was all in the game, yeah.
Whoa.
And then that's when like at the cutscene, if I can remember, like you see Joel hugging onto Ellie, trying to keep him afloat, and then there was like a rock that impacted Joel, kind of knocking him out, and then it goes black, and then that's when Joel and Ellie kind of wake up, and then you see Henry and Sam kind of there. They were the ones that rescued him, put him back onto the shore. And then the sewers was like right around the corner, and then that's when they get introduced to the sewers of the game, and that's where like the infected were at. There were some infected and clickers inside there, because
that's crazy how different that was.
yeah, it's like totally different. And then like in the sewers, like technically when they went to the tunnels, that kindergarten area is like where it's true, like it was all like it was like kind of a
small
safe regime,
community.
like a
Yeah.
safe zone, yeah. but one and it was Esh, like you mentioned, but one person got infected, and it starts
Yep.
spreading everywhere within that
Yep.
community.
Oh,
And that's when
damn.
all the kids got infected, all the children, all the women, all the men, everybody got screwed over in that community, and that's why like everybody in the sewers were fucked up that way. By the time the whole group in the game finally got there for them to make that little escape. But that was like one of kind of like the big differences that we've seen from in compared to the show. Because in the show, we don't see anything but like what they set up in the sense of like that little play zone area for the children. That's
Yeah.
all we really got pretty much from the TV show. The game they added like so much
And the
more.
picture too. That was it, I think.
Yeah, in the picture, and then like it makes sense too because like in the game there's so much that they can explore and compared to the TV show.
Exactly.
Because
There's no gameplay in a TV show. See,
No.
this is why this fucking show works. They're
Yeah.
not stupid. They're like, hey, it's a TV show. You can't make it like the video game exactly. But since it's a TV show, we have enough time to capture the essence and build out the characters and the story and make it feel like the game, make it feel like the same story. And at times, like episodes 4 and episodes 1, in episodes 2, you can directly adapt stuff right out of the freaking game.
Yeah, like straight to like it gets straight to the point and compared to like from video game to TV show because TV show has to go straight to the point, and that's what they've been doing like throughout the last couple of episodes. They've been kind of just like boom, 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 going straight to it. There's no fillers in between. If there is, it might be something like a little bit of a backstory, but it all serves a purpose. And compared to a video game, the video game obviously you got to do different tactics. There's more gameplay involved, and then there's obviously more development in there because you'll find notes talking a little bit
Yeah.
more about the story or about the story within the game. So it's it's like you see those little differences here and there. But I did enjoy in the show that they kind of had that bonding experience between Ellie and Sam. They kind of had that time for them to be children, especially like with Ellie's situation. She's been constantly on the run, pretty much in the sense, trying to like going from place to place. And then same thing for Sam. Sam's been in the show been dealing with so much within his lifetime already. I mean, he already was diagnosed with leukemia, so
Yep.
he should have died earlier, but he got the medicine for it. But the thing is, too, like he's also like he doesn't really have a whole lot of people who he can bond with because it's such a cruel world setting as it is, and the only person he really can communicate with is probably his brother Henry, and that's only because of they can actually talk to each other. That's ASL.
Yeah.
Ellie's actually able to like act like a kid with him, play around with him, do drawings, talk about like the comic books, which I like a lot because Ellie does like if you're playing as Joel, you collect comic books and you kind of give them to Ellie pretty much. You collect like certain volumes and stuff like that. So I like kind of like they have that reference of Ellie having like certain collecting comic books throughout the time of her being a fan of it. So that's a huge plus for me. I like how they kind of like keep those little things together.
That was part of the name of the episode, right?
For
Endure and survive.
I was that officially. I didn't get to see like the episode name for it.
I think it was because it was called episode 5, Endure and Survive. So,
Oh
damn,
shit!
that rhymes. That's cool.
Endure and
But,
survive.
Endure and survive. So I think that was supposed to be in reference to the comic book, which is from directly from the game as well.
Yeah,
so I
if I
love,
could remember.
like I said, just perfect adaptation tie-ins right there, man. And then this is when all the fun ends.
Yeah.
Once they leave the area.
During the nighttime, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Joel's idea to stay there during the day for like I guess the shadows won't be giving them away in a way.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Wait,
no, wasn't that Henry's? Wasn't that Henry's idea? Because then Joel wanted to go a little bit further, to try to travel a little bit farther during the daytime.
I think so.
Oh, you're right. He didn't want to go. Yeah, Joel was the only one who wanted to leave. You're right.
Yeah,
And
Joel-
Henry because pretty much everyone wanted to stay. They stayed there a little bit longer. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
and then that's when they kind of like were catching up, and that's when we learn about Henry's backstory a lot more about like
Yep.
why he's on the run and stuff. And then now you kind of see Joel's kind of perspective of
And he was like,
okay,
oh, man, my bad for judging you like that.
yeah, and he's like, if you did it for the kid, then I totally understand because he's also a father too. And Henry mentions that he's like,
yeah,
oh,
he's like, I can
noticed,
tell you're a father.
and then
even
like
if you ain't hers.
yeah, and then that's when it did kind of struck Joel in that sense, like, oh shit, we got to get going. That's when he kind
Yeah.
of like officially was like, you got to get going. Fuck this. I
Because
don't
he's
wanna talk
always
about
like,
this.
I don't want to fucking get emotional. God damn it.
Yeah,
Getting
he
outta
was
here.
always like that.
And I was like, no, Joel, stay there. God damn it. And that's when everything goes to shit.
Officially now, because now they are now at this point at the
In the
towns area,
residential? Yeah.
at the residential area. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And then there, I liked that too. I liked that all that leading up because that sniper scene, even before the sniper scene, you had that little chanter, you had that fun banter between everybody, and then like I
That
like
was
how
it
like
for the fun. I'll tell
yeah,
you that.
and that was it. And it's always fun to how like Allie's always like I think I've always noticed like Allie's always like the last one to have like the word of it, and then like something shit happens, like
Yeah.
a shot goes off or something like that. I'm like, oh fuck, and I liked it too because it was so sudden. It was like a sudden shot, and then it was it brings you back to a level within the game, and it kind of resembles like you had to travel from pretty much from like one point to the other. Like it's like you're in the back lot and you're trying to get away from the snipers. But at the same time, there's like a group of people you had to fight to in the video game to try to get to the sniper. But in the TV show, the only
It
pit
was
like
literally just the sniper until everybody else pulled up because Joel was like, "All right, I'm gonna go around the back and kill and get rid of this motherfucker," like you know how they always do. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Stay here, and stay low, and no one's gonna get you." Henry's dumbass. I'm like, "Henry, what are you doing?" Grabs
Yeah.
Sam and tries to run away.
Yeah.
And then they start
Yeah.
shooting at him. He's like, "Oh shit."
He's
I was
like, "You're
"What'd you
right."
expect?"
I think it's like to call back to the game because that's when they separated. That's what Henry kind of did with Joel because he was planning on leaving him behind. I kind of liked they had that added that little detail.
In the game,
I
they,
see.
freaking Henry was gonna like backstab Joel, pretty much,
Yeah,
or what?
that's how they got separated because they were climbing on top of a truck in the game, and then Henry, Sam, and Ellie got on top. But when Joel was about to climb up, the ladder broke off, and then that's when Joel fell back. And then right when that happened, there was like Fedra soldiers were coming at him. So Joel was gonna get left behind pretty much regardless because the ladder broke down. And Henry took off with Sam. He grabbed Sam, saying, "We gotta go." And then that's when he just told Joel, "I'm sorry." And then Ellie was like, "Yo, what the fuck? That's fucked up. He's with us." Then that's when Joel tried to was pretty much getting up, and Ellie went back down, went back for Joel pretty much, and tried to help him out. Well, helped him out to get out of that situation. So Henry did some similarity in a sense within the show and the game.
It was like a reference to it,
That's
but he couldn't
crazy.
get away. I
How
see.
much
Yeah.
of a big difference it was in the game to this
Exactly.
to this show.
But
you know?
it wasn't
Yeah.
like, but it still works, man. Like that's something I love about it. Like it doesn't like it's not even like a bad version or something. It's just
Yeah.
a different, like it's almost like a multiverse or something, bro. It's like like an alternate timeline. It's like a similar thing, but it just went down differently or something. But
Yeah.
as they go from there, Joel ends up getting in there, getting to the sniper, taking his ass out, and then
was a
he ends up
shot.
getting the gun himself. But Kathleen's about to roll up on him because once he takes out the guy, he hears over the radio, "Hold him off. We're almost there." And then
Yep.
within seconds, they start pulling up with the fucking bulldoze, with the freaking street sweeps over here.
Yeah.
And they're about to fucking run Ellie over. She's got the gun out. She got her handgun out from Joel, shooting at these fools, but she runs out of ammo. So now
Yeah.
she's just trying to run for her life. Sam and Henry run off into the side, off to like towards the right. And then she almost gets ran the fuck over, but Joel ends up shooting the dude just in time, and then they go off to the side, flip over and whatnot, and then they blow up, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they hit a house.
Yeah, they hit a house.
hit the
whole
house,
fucking
yeah.
tank thing blows up, and I was like, uh-oh, explosions are not a good idea right here. There's a sinkhole,
And it was
and guess what's
yeah,
in the sinkhole?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
motherfucking bloater, baby,
That
and
was
the
all
entire
those.
ish community in my mind.
Yeah, it was pretty much. It was like everybody, but I
Like
like how
everyone
they-
in Kansas City, but it was like they started with that ish community and wiped the rest of these motherfuckers out.
Yeah, yeah. I liked how like they had that built up too, because like that's when you have Kathleen already there, kind of like just going after Henry. That's all she
Yep.
wanted was Henry. That's all her focus was.
Yep.
And Henry was like willing to like be like, all right, you can have me.
Yeah,
just let
just
the
let
children
them
grow.
go.
Yeah, but Kathleen was like, nah, fuck
Nah,
that.
fuck them.
Yeah, she was pretty much like that, and then she was like giving like the heartless speech, saying like children die every day. What
Yeah,
makes you
children
think
die every
si-
day. Who cares?
Yeah,
I was
like,
like,
what-
what?
What makes you think Sam's anything special? He like maybe it was
That's
his
his,
time
that's
to
his
die.
destiny, homie.
Yeah, it was really written out for him, and I was like, dude, that's fucked up. And then
was like,
that's
huh?
when, and then that's when like she was about to load up that gun and
Yep,
end
and
Henry's
shoot the
life.
fuck out of this guy.
Yeah.
And then bam,
That's when
here he goes.
dude. When I seen all of them crawl out, I was like, oh, dude, that's like that's like all
Freaking bloater.
clickers. Yeah,
I was
that
like,
fucking
oh
boom-
shit,
dude.
it's evil Groot.
Was there a scene like that in the game too, where it was a big horde of infected like that coming out
There-
out of the
There
hole?
was, and you played as Joel, because you were sniping down the people. You were sniping down the people, the Fedra people, and then
okay.
eventually you seen like a horde of like infected and clickers running off to the side, and your objective was to pretty much protect them until protect the group until they get to safety. And there was a scene that you kind of that resembles between Henry. It was Henry. Sam, it was like Henry, Sam, and Ellie. I believe one of them was Ellie, and one of them you had to save, like I think Sam, and you just had to shoot at him a couple of times, and then it pretty much resembles like the same thing. It kind of like you had to save them. Were able to save them. They were able to get away from safety. But yeah, there was pretty much like a scene like that, and there's like a gameplay pretty much version of that, like throughout the whole scenario.
Yeah, man. Because when this shit, when shit hit the fan, it hit the motherfucking fan big time, bro. There's clickers and fucking bloaters and shit everywhere.
Dude,
they're running
bloaters,
after everybody,
bro.
eating up everybody and shit. And then they're chasing the hell out of Ellie, bro. She's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
she runs
dude.
away. She runs into a car, locks herself in the car, and then another one gets into the car. So then she's locked in there with the damn car. So then locked in there with the clicker.
I gotta say, I
was
love
like, oh,
how
God.
that clicker just went into that van and like her whole body like
like,
bent in half
It's like
and then
flimsy.
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's
I was
what I-
like, bruh,
It made
hell
such
nah.
a sick like curve on her body, and then
Nope.
her going into the front seats again. Her whole body just like curves in again. Oh my
Bro,
gosh!
I would have did
stuff.
that out of the fucking car.
Like,
I'd have been like,
dude,
oh, fuck
I'm like,
no.
fuck that, dude. And the way she looked too, I was like, God damn, bro.
was like,
She
what
just
the
like she
fuck
looks
is that?
nasty. That
What
looked
the
nasty. I had to give him props too, because like a lot of the clickers throughout like that outbreak deal, I liked how a lot of them look. I was like, oh shit, these.
Dude, because it was a blend of practical effects with CGI. I was looking at the behind
Oh
the
really?
scenes. Yeah.
Oh okay, that makes
Oh,
no sense.
freaking
Because
awesome.
I was about to say it. I really liked how they looked in this
Yeah, watch,
episode
bro. I'm
way
gonna pull
more
this
than
up right now.
the second episode when they run them and when they run into them in the museum or wherever they're at. You know?
Yeah, man. I got
Yeah.
behind the scenes right here, bro.
Because
Clickers and everything.
I like that they actually had like an ASL actor pretty much being on this set.
Damn, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They hired like an actual deaf little kid. You know?
Yeah, and it's a good twist too, because it's more like heartfelt, especially towards the end with how the episode concluded. I was like, shit, dude, that fucking, that's heart wrenching. Oh fuck, yeah, look at that. Okay, movement coach. She was doing his thing pretty much through and through, right?
Yeah.
And that'd be cool
Yeah,
if,
see?
if I could be a clicker.
Oh yeah,
Practical effects, baby.
a lot of practical effects that came to it. Oh god, dude, there's Groot. There's fucking Groot, bro.
There he is, bro. And there she is right there, as we were just talking about, where she was like, motherfuck you, motherfuck yo brother, motherfuck you, and it's just, and like, I'm gonna eat your ass.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that she went down. Well, no, I'm not surprised actually because it's only nine episodes for this season.
Last of Us, baby. We ain't got
But
no time for that.
I wanted more of a background on this. What is it called again? Not Resistance, right? They're
the Hunters.
the Hunters.
The hunters. They're like
Yeah.
the hunter
Yes,
resistance,
sir.
something like that. We
Oh, this is it right here,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
We
that's a good
gonna
one.
get into it. I'm gonna
What-
wait
what-
and play that in a second.
all right. We'll
'Cause-
wait for it.
oh.
We'll wait for it
Oh,
because
we gonna get there because shit's still hitting the fan. They're eating up everybody. Freaking Sam and Henry get stuck under a car. I'm like, oh shit, man!
yeah.
Somebody get to our people. Joel, save them.
yeah, and then like
They end up getting out of there.
Ellie was the one who did the saving.
Yeah, Ellie
Yeah.
is the one that did it because Ellie saved them. Joel barely got his ass out of there. They all met back up, and they all
No,
freaking.
I feel like it was more of a
hightailed it out of
teamwork
there.
thing. I feel like it was more like because Joel was the one like pretty much covering Ellie because all
Yeah,
he was doing was
he
like
had the
sniping
cover
him. Yeah,
with
yeah.
with the shots, and she went in there and physically grabbed him. So yeah, it was definitely a team effort for sure, as
Yeah.
it should be with The Last of Us.
I
And
like that
then-
dynamic right there. I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
the way
that
it should
scene.
be, and that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the video game and everything. I'm like, it's like Mandalorian. I think borrowed a lot of that same kind of formula. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, baby. The multiverse man. But freaking, but yeah, man. So it's like I love that type of storytelling and that type of teamwork and that kind of synergy that Joel and Ellie have in the series, man. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, they managed to get out of there just by the skin of their teeth, and then.
That's
And
when
then-
that freaking Kathleen was freaking there, dude. She had to stop that whole process.
How come we're not talking about the bloater more?
That's gonna be at the very end. Okay, we'll talk about the bloater right now, dude.
All
When
right,
Groot,
yeah,
when
yeah.
Groot
What do you
came
got?
in, dude, I
Oh my
liked it.
gosh,
He
dude,
came
I
in.
honestly, man, I was so shocked to see that such a big infected guy like that. Like, how was the original
Are you talking
human
about
that
this
that
guy?
big, or like is that like a combination of 3 or 4 clickers in one? You know, like how does that work? I don't know. I don't understand.
It was a power lifter, bro.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Okay, makes sense.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just like it
Power
was just
lifter.
pretty much this a person. I forgot what they said in the game, but it was essentially somebody who was infected very long, just like a clicker. But I guess their development went towards that the bloaters route in that sense. So they pretty much got like oversaturated. I would assume it's somebody with a heavier set
Yeah.
that were able to become something like a boomer or a
damn.
bloater. And
Did
the
you say a
different-
boomer, homie?
Yeah, that's from
I was
Left 4
I was
Dead.
thinking, I was
Hating
thinking
over
of that.
here. No,
Yeah.
hating over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. But like that was the thing. I liked how they did it in the game. The game though, like what he'll do is like he'll shoot spores at you. That's why like they made that little flashback of
Oh.
Ellie. Because like if you were running away in the game, what he'll do, he'll throw like a bunch of spores at you, and then that's when the spores will explode around you, and they'll deal damage to you. That's what-
Explode?
yeah, it would explode. Like if they had kept spores into the show, that for sure would have been an effect within here. But since they didn't really have any of that,
Nope.
Any of
They
the
said it
spores or
may
anything
be
like that?
introduced down the line, but not necessarily in season 1.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Because originally he'll shoot spores at the player, because it's like a way for their range and stuff like that. And the way they move is exactly like that.
The
They'll
way
try
to
to kinda
challenge
charge
you
at
and drain your health, you know?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
So it's a gameplay mechanism.
I saw
so-
I saw a picture online before I even saw this episode, and I thought it was just gonna be. I thought it was a regular clicker, you know,
Oh, hell
nah, bro.
not a big old guy like this
Hell
guy.
nah.
It was been like that's like a big heavy set.
That
That's
was one of
probably
the
been there
cool
for a
shots in the
while.
trailer of the fucking. I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, shit, dude!" That was what hyped me up because I had seen this stuff from video game gameplay footage and stuff,
Yeah,
and like the clickers and stuff themselves. I was curious about the zombies when I first played the game. I was like, "This is some crazy shit. What the fuck?"
bloater.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what kind of zombies are in here?" And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And that's one of the number one things I always loved about this. I loved about the game and loved about the series. It's just in the way they pulled off the look in this series. It's terrifying. It's disgusting. You almost can't take your eyes off it. I'm
I
like,
wouldn't want
man,
to fuck around with that guy, bro. Because the
Fuck
thing
no.
is, like, that guy is like a straight
ripped heads
brute.
off, dude.
He
Yeah.
ripped heads off.
And it was funny too. It's kind of represents like if you got caught within the bloater's like arm reach, you die. Like that's how you pretty much die. Like you'll see Joel's like pretty much his head gets split apart if you get caught by him
In the game?
In the game, yeah,
That's dope.
yeah.
Oh shit.
So they kind of did that with, and it's funny too. They did it with the guy who played as Perry, the guy
Yep.
that got his ripped off. He's a voice actor for Tommy.
Oh,
He's a voice actor for Tommy.
For
shit.
that's
who? Tommy?
For Tommy in the video
That's
game. Yeah,
dope, man.
He voice acts
That's
him.
cool.
Is
so
everybody in here? Like, is
There-
every actor from the game, like the major characters in here, or not really? Just a couple.
Probably like as for actors, I'm maybe
Because
that's
so
something
far they've had Marlene playing Marlene, which was
Mm-hmm.
the cool thing. This one was a different character, an original character, I think.
for who Kathleen.
The guy that played Tommy in this show, this character that got killed, Otis. That's an original character, right?
Oh, Perry. Are you talking
Perry,
about the
yeah,
guy
sorry.
that got his
Yeah,
head
yeah.
ripped off?
Yeah.
He wasn't original. He was an original for the show. He
Yeah,
was
like
original for the
Kathleen,
show.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kathleen. Yeah.
So he was a new character, so that was a little different than the Marlene situation. And then they have the Ellie voice actress. Like I said, I believe she's confirmed to play Ellie's mother in this thing. So that's 3 of the main actors. So I wonder if the Joel actor is going to pop up or something.
That'd be cool.
Maybe, because that would be what's his name, Troy Baker. I think if I could remember, and he does like a lot of voice acting already. So I wouldn't doubt they drew him in there for like a small scene or something.
That
So
would be cool. That would be cool, man.
it would be, but dude, like that bloater, I can't wait, and it's gonna be interesting to see.
Is there gonna be more of him? Of more of these bloaters?
In the series,
In the
I'm
show.
honestly.
in the show, maybe there is like
maybe.
there is. I can see him introducing him a couple of times within the setting of the episodes that they could go with, but I know for sure one of them popped in here. There's actually one technically that should have arrived earlier when, if we were
Oh.
talking about game sense, but between with Frank, Joel, and Ellie. That's when they kind of I can remember they could get first introduced within the high school. And
But
I
yeah,
think,
that was
but
so
there's like
different,
yeah, it's like different. But I think for them showing up, I wouldn't doubt if they throw them in there for the last two to three episodes. Maybe I could see him definitely throwing them in there.
Okay, I see. I really hope so. I really like this disinfected.
Yeah, dude, that guy looks fucking nasty, bro.
Is there any infected that fly in the game?
that flies? No, I don't think so.
That's
no.
good.
Yeah, because
Introducing-
that'd be fucked. That'd be like Resident Evil shit. Or
Yeah,
some
exactly.
Crap.
Like that'd be some intense shit.
Yeah.
God damn.
Look at this guy over here looking like he just stepped out on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Introducing
dude, is that
the
fucking
one, the only,
Yo, is that
the
Kane?
bloater.
I like that flower on his head. That little flower.
It's like that sport
That's
thing.
just his head that
That's
split
just
apart,
his-
baby.
Yeah.
It's a skull. Like
It's a
grew into
beautiful. It looks like a beautiful thing. It's like that
It's art,
rose,
bro. It's
the
artwork,
rose on
baby.
that little girl's face. That's what it looked like to me,
This
like a
isn't
little
body
rose.
horror. This is body art, baby.
I agree.
Yeah.
Get into it.
But okay.
Look at it.
I guess enough with the bloater. We
I
can
want you
move
all
on.
to
Since I wanted
look
to
at
talk
it.
about the bloater for a sec.
But yeah,
Okay,
man,
okay.
it's time to break some fucking hearts. It is
Oh, within the
time
next scene.
to cut some throats. Because this scene right here had your boy like, oh, this is so sweet. But it's like, wait, if you turn into, I said, what? I said, what'd you just say right now, Sam? I was like, no,
Yeah.
you didn't. I'm like, Ellie, what are you doing? It doesn't work like that. And then he reveals the bite and everything, and then she tries to rub her blood on it because she thinks the cure works like that. But that's just that innocence right there.
Yeah.
And bam, this is when your heart's about to get ripped out of your chest right here, y'all, Mortal Kombat fatality style. Because in the morning, after Ellie and him have the heartwarming interaction, and with their faith in the cure helping him out, he's sitting there on the bed, chilling. She tries to go confront him, and then he ends up almost eating her up right then and there. And
Well,
pushes her through the door
I feel
into the room,
it-
as we just
There's
seen.
keeping a little part where like they have that touching, conversation.
The heart to heart talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hot talk, and then Sam shows Ellie the bite, and obviously Ellie cuts herself, and then because he's scared, he asks her to stay up with him.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
and
that's-
she promises. That's the part where like it's so heartwarming. Because not heartwarming,
Heartbreaking.
because
And she fell asleep.
She fell asleep, and now she feels so guilty about it at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
That
That's-
was freaking sad.
It was extremely sad seeing that. Like when I seen like that whole talk, because it's like
Yep.
the other thing. I would compare
like, "Are
it
you
to like
ever
towards the
scared?"
game. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like, are you even scared? Pretty much, it's kind of like word for word dialogue because that's what that's what Sam asked them in the game, and they had that kind of moment in the show. They were kind of talking to each other about like if they're scared, what is like things you're most afraid of, and then Allie mentions that like she's afraid to die alone, and that's like something she kind of repeats throughout like pretty much like throughout the game series, pretty much in part
Aren't
one
we
and
all?
part two. Yeah, and then like, and you get that revealing when I seen that question being answered. It's like, do you think you're still
yourself when you
yourself?
turn?
Yeah, and then that's when I'm like, oh, dude, he got big. He got
No.
big underneath that truck.
I was like, no. What the hell, writers?
Yeah,
Haven't we had enough?
Oh, man.
That's when I knew it. I remember like dragging our mouse over. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna make this a part two. And there was like 5 minutes still left over, or like it was like 10 minutes or 12, 14 minutes. I'm like, oh, they're definitely gonna do this scene. They're definitely gonna do that. And then
I
they,
didn't know, had no idea, dude. I was like, I can't do this.
yeah,
Why are you
dude.
doing this to me?
And it sucks too because like Ellie is like constantly losing people as she's going on throughout this journey. Ever since with Joel, she lost Tess, and then she liked Tess a lot. She didn't want to
Yep.
leave Tess
Yep.
behind, and she left Tess. And before Tess, she left with the Fireflies. She left
Marlene.
Marlene. She left Marlene in their group, and they were kind of there to like trying to help her out, but they got fucked over with Robert's group during the shootout. So that's why like Ellie's kind of in that mind state of like shit. I might be losing this person. That's why she's willing to do that blood thing.
Yep.
And and like you can see her innocence when she cuts her hand and tries to rub it and tries like really like in all of her will to it, all of her like putting all of her trust within her blood for her to cure Sam. But ultimately, like Sam doesn't even he turns into it eventually because that's
I'm
not.
so surprised she didn't get attacked when she was like sleeping.
I was gonna mention that. I think
Maybe Joel or Henry were up, or both of them,
no. I think what it was because since Sam was deaf, when he turned, he probably didn't hear anybody. He didn't hear anybody. So by the time
Oh, right.
when Ellie came up to him and saying like, "Hey Sam, let's go," that's when he attacked her. And that's why I think I'm like, okay, so that they can't really fully restore like the sentry, the motor
That's
sentries within the
interesting, yeah.
person. That's why that's probably why they're able to get away with it. They're able to do that within the show. It be having them be in the same room. So when he turned, he pretty much was just there. He couldn't hear anything until like that moment when he sees Ellie, and that's when he goes all berserk and shit like that. And that was like that was heart wrenching too for Ellie because she's like, fuck, I just seen this guy a couple hours ago. He was fine. Now he's I couldn't save him. I couldn't do anything to save him. And then
This might not be the first time she's had a confrontation this way with somebody. So who knows what's gonna go down the line, man? But this is where the show said, "Let me rip your heart out real quick."
At that moment, oh yeah,
Man. Because I was like, that's after he kind of shoots his little brother in the head, you know.
Yeah, he kind of has to, you know. And it was, I was so, my heart was beating so fast because I thought for a second not Joel, sorry, Henry was gonna let freaking Ellie get bitten or something, you know. Because obviously it wasn't gonna happen, but like, you know, just he wasn't doing anything about it. He just had the gun pointed, and I understand this is his brother, you know, but it's just hard stuff. Like,
That look on his face right there, man. I was like, oh God, don't do it, bro.
That's what it was. He realized it. He had that hesitation,
Yep.
but he knew what he had to do. He was like, "Fuck!" And then at that moment, when he made that face and he sees
like,
the blood flowing
like,
from his
no,
brother's
bro.
head like
I
that,
was like, you had to, dude. Don't hate yourself, man. Don't. But unfortunately,
it got to a lot of people. There are some people that I talked to even at work, and then one of my friends too, and all of them said like that. This was like the scene, especially with Sam dying and stuff like that. They're like, "Fuck!"
Dude.
Some of them already played the game, and they were like, "Shit." It's still kind of like it like. Some of them, like, it was like 50-50. Some of them said like game was heavier. Some people said this was heavier, but overall this scene was always like kind of a heavy felt scene because it's like a thing. It's like an older brother who couldn't.
I have a question about that then.
Okay. But
did he or continue actually.
Oh no, I was gonna say, but like as an overall, it's a way to just, I don't know. It is like it has that premise of feeling that darkness, and you kind of see in his face of him killing his own brother, kind of like really just doing all that efforts. Yeah, and that was a main reason why he was living. He did everything he could to try to save his brother, but at the end of the day, he was the one that had to put down his brother because he got turned affected, and that's when it came to that disbelief, and that's when he kind of gets to that shocking state. And Joel realizes that shocking state. That's why he told him, like, give me the gun, like, you know, he sees that in his face, and then that's when. Yeah, that's when he got dirty.
He wasn't strong enough to break through the shock, and unfortunately, he felt like he had nothing left to live for.
Yeah,
took himself out, man.
He was tearing up, and you see Ellie just trying to scream, and then like you see her scream, and then it faintly goes away as she's starting to cry because she's just seeing one person die in front of her that she really cares about, and she started to like Henry too, and he ends up killing himself because it was such a traumatic loss for him. And then Ellie, I feel like at this point probably feels like it's something more she could have done or something like that because she technically has the cure. She can't get infected, but these other people around her are getting infected or dying off pretty much because of it. So it's a brutal part of the scene for sure, especially with the show.
And then we get to the funeral scene here, essentially with them burying the bodies here, burying Henry and Sam in their final resting place here, and. This is right here, man. This part right here broke my heart as well.
I don't think I showed it, but yeah, her leaving the little clipboard, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was depressing. I look like Joel right there.
At the end
like when I was watching. I was like,
he looks so old in this shot right here.
That's exactly how I look, dude. I was gray and shit.
Yeah, it's just gray by the end of the episode. Gained 10 years.
These 5 episodes, dude. I was like, oh god.
Bro. Yeah, that's what probably a lot of people were feeling. That's what, like, fuck, dude. That's like a way to go. I think it sucks too, cause like Ellie was the one that put like I'm sorry, cause like she was the one that like
Sam's little notepad thing.
When I seen that, I was like, ooh, they were going for it. They were really trying to go for that one with like between their what they wanted to go with Ellie and Sam. And I thought that was a perfect way to like really go for the tearjerkers right there.
What do you think she's sorry for? Not staying up, being
All
able
of
to
it,
help
man.
him.
All
it's
of it.
it's pretty much like it's everything. Ellie not being able to save him, even though she has the cure pretty much within her blood. Ellie not staying up with him as he wanted to. Ellie, there's like so much that Ellie wanted, like is probably sorry for, but those are kind of like the main ones, for just for her to feel, and then that's
Yeah.
probably what she's really feeling heavy about, and that's why she just doesn't want to talk. She just wants to do the burial ceremony, leaves off their last goodbyes to Sam, and then just walks away. And Joel kind of sees that, and he sees like it's so much for somebody so young at her age dealing with a lot of that, right? So it's a thing that you kind of see Joel kind of like understands where Ellie's coming from, and the best thing he could do is trying to kind of comfort her in a little bit in his own way. Maybe we'll see in the next episode or so, because right now Ellie's kind of hardening up a lot more as she's going on throughout this journey.
Is that how they die in the game too?
Yeah, it's exactly how they died in the game. So in the game, it's exactly Sam got bit. Same thing within the town and stuff. They get back to where they're hiding out, and they would talk. Everybody was having a good time, but Henry already knew that he was bit, and he didn't tell anybody. He didn't tell anybody that he was bit.
Oh,
and
in the game, Henry knew that his.
I mean,
Sam
not
was
Henry.
bit?
And not Henry. Sam knew he was
Oh,
bit.
okay.
My bad.
But he didn't
Yes.
tell anybody.
Yeah, Sam didn't tell anybody. So when Sam and Ellie was having the talk,
Damn, that's crazy.
Sam didn't really. He was more not in that uplifting mood, and compared to like everybody else. Everybody else was happy. They were having a good time. Joe and Henry were talking about like motorcycles and all that. Getting that development there. And Sam and Ellie was pretty much just having that heart-to-heart moment. And Sam was kind of like, he was scared essentially because he got bit and he was scared of what it was it's gonna be like when he turns into like one of the infected. So he kind of kept it under the sheets, and it was the same thing the next morning. Sam officially turned. Ellie was trying to she like was trying to get away from him in a sense, and played out exactly that way. And that's when it was. I feel like in the scene in the game itself, it's more. I would say like it's more kind of like I don't know how heartfelt, because like you kind of like feel a little bit more with the characters too within like when you're traveling with them. But I think the way they executed it was like I could see how it could be a little bit more heart wrenching for some people throughout that scene, because it's like such a sudden thing.
Yeah.
You see Henry just like instill that disbelief. You see him like killing his own brother. You see him in that panic state. He's like, "What the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do?" And he starts blaming Joel. He's like, "This is all your fucking fault. This is all your fault." And then all of a sudden, he points. You see him point the gun to his head, and then you just hear him, Joel screaming "no," and then it just cuts out blank. And then you hear Ellie just kind of like say something as well. She's like, I think she was like kind of like also saying no as well, but they kind of cut it off black screen and all that. So
You just hear the gunshot. That's it.
Yeah, you just hear you just see like the gun right there. You see it go off and it cuts black, and then you hear the acoustic playing afterwards. Like it kind of like kind of similar to I think last week's acoustic play, but that's pretty much how they ended it off. So I can kind of see how like people say one is heavier than the other, but I felt like for the show it did it right. I'm fine with it. It's pretty cool. I liked how they kind of went with the changes that they had throughout this episode to get to that ending point and have it be told in their own unique way, because they had the creator of The Last of Us doing it, and he can easily just put like, okay, this is essential to the story. These really aren't essential to the story. This is only there because of the gameplay that we needed to added for the players to enjoy. But he's able to like in his vision create okay, we're gonna do a story of this, and you kind of see that as you pretty much go like the main points throughout Joel and Ellie's storyline throughout this part 1 game, or season 1 technically.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But they head off to Wyoming, and that is essentially where we end off the episodes, my friends. But yeah, incredible episode of television.
I honestly teared up a
There
little
it is
bit.
right
just 'cause it's
there.
so
I'm
freaking
sorry.
sad.
You did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did. Just because
shoot.
it's man,
It's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
Heart wrenching. This is one of the
Very
most
sad.
dude, man. This show is absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for the next 4 episodes
Me
of
too.
this series, man.
I cannot wait for Ellie's like episode or like
Yeah, the backstory and
the
all
backstory of a little, at least a little insight of her
Yeah, I can't
background
wait
for
to
sure,
see
you know?
that and more Tommy.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like Tommy's taking a while to get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, but he'll be coming soon, I'm sure.
It better be worth it. Nah, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh my gosh, relax, bro.
Everything's been great. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, man.
Yeah,
9 out of
yeah.
10 episode. This episode's incredible. I love it. This show's great. I don't know how this is not going to be in the top 3 to 5 shows of the year. No doubt.
It's for sure up there. There's obviously people who like the minority who would say like who would nitpick it. Like it's like how we talked about the last episode that we talked about. It's always people who always want to like crave that difference of attention, like to make them seem unique. Because this is like pretty much like it's a pretty solid series. Like,
I agree.
There's
incredible.
like if I really had to look for nitpick, I could, but it's like it's gonna be very hard for me to do. Like it's like very minors sub things to really like whine about. Everything else pretty much leads up pretty good. The visuals are awesome. The dialogue are pretty awesome. Characters are more flourished than what they were in the game, especially for side characters. And we get more development throughout this series. So it's a pretty top notch one for me for sure.
All I know is this year around this time last year, Euphoria was also airing, and I could say that I enjoyed this more than Euphoria, like big time.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Like
okay.
big time.
Wow.
And I really liked
Okay.
Euphoria a lot, honestly. Like
Wow.
I think it's a solid show too. But this
Damn.
just like every single episode, just I am like so
Just bam.
invested, you know.
Bam.
Like,
Bangers.
There's
not
no
even
roles
not
in
even the
nothing.
main characters are the investing part. It's all these supporting characters that are you're just so invested in what's going on with and their stories and their backgrounds and what they're doing for Joel and Ellie. You know, it's like man,
And it's
some good
refreshing
stuff. Yeah, exactly,
for a TV
yeah.
series because even some series that I love with all my heart, like Stranger Things, they've let down freaking characters like Will and Mike for seasons now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff
Yeah.
like that. There's other
Yeah.
shows like Cobra Kai where it's like, where the hell was my main man Eli in season 5? What the hell's going on?
Eli.
Where's
that's
Hawk? What the hey?
I haven't seen any of those shows.
What the
right.
hell?
I can't relate to you guys.
You haven't seen Cable Kai. Oh,
No,
okay.
no, it's, my bad. I seen some of I'm getting violent over here.
Karate Kid.
I haven't. I see most of Stranger Things, just not the latest season, and then
Bruh.
for sure,
Bruh.
and then for sure, I haven't
Bruh.
seen any of Cobra Kai except for the episode that one time when I believe Kenny and I were working together, and he put up the first episode of Cobra Kai, if I'm not mistaken, and he gets like mad about like pizza slices.
He gets
He's
mad
like,
about
well,
pizza slices.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I see Kenny in the side.
That's the only
You're
thing
missing the best series
I'm
ever.
watching
No,
the
I'm
best
kidding.
series right now.
I'm kidding. I'm just joking. But it's a
The
fucking
Last of Us,
awesome
yeah.
series, dude. Every season almost gets like it's like season 1 incredible, season 2 and 3 are like really fucking good. But I don't think they're as good as season 1. But then season 4 and season 5 said, "Hold my fucking beer, bro," and it's just been kicking ass.
They have martial arts tournaments and this.
Fuck yeah, bro. They're about to
okay.
go to the Sekai Tekai in fucking Japan, the biggest martial arts tournament in the world, to settle the score once and for all. The final season of Cobra Kai is going down.
Who's
son.
who's gonna fight at the end this last season?
I won't tell you nothing. You gotta
Oh,
watch it, homie.
Okay.
And don't give me no One Piece argument, because this ain't a fucking 1,000+ episodes or nothing.
All right,
So I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
hear it, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
But yeah, you gotta get on that Cobra Kai. But yeah, The Last of Us, episode 5, incredible. Season 1, incredible. We're a little bit over halfway through the series, and I gotta say, I can't see this thing dropping off yet. Let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments, y'all. We love getting into a discussion with y'all. Let's get the views up on these things right here, man. Let's spread the word. Let's let the people know we're doing these recaps every single week, y'all. We're coming at you a little bit early this week, man. We're coming at you no later than Sunday, late at night, you know what I'm saying? Because we got The Last of Us coming at you right in time for the Super Bowl Sunday. If you haven't got a chance to check out the episode yet and you watch this, we spoil it all. It's your fault. You should have read the title. But it's a spoiler freaking recap. We do the
That's
reviews.
right.
We do these every single week. It's coming at you early this week, but make sure you tune in next week for that episode 6. All that good jazz. And March is right around the corner. We got a ton of great stuff planned for that. But don't get too far ahead, y'all. We still got some good stuff coming this end of the month. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania dropping next freaking week.
Cocaine Bear coming at you live from the fucking forest.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids, like this guy over here. Jeez, I told you not in the studio. No, it's funny. But freaking, we got a whole bunch of cool shit coming at y'all for the end of the month, and I got some very cool Scream content planned right around the corner, just in time for the new release of Scream 6. We're gonna have a spoiler review, rankings, all kinds of cool shit. I got a lot of great stuff planned for that. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania also is going to have a little bit of bonus for you. We got the Phase 4 tier ranking part 2. That's right. I said part 2. That's right, homie. We're going to be coming at you with Spider-Man No Way Home all the way through the rest of freaking Phase 4. It's going to be a spicy episode. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you spread it around.
Pepper.
The first one's doing pretty well right now.
Reapers, whatever.
We appreciate you.
Share it with your wives, your girlfriend, your second girlfriend, your grandma, your babysitter, your pet sitters, everything, okay? Don't forget.
Your second girlfriend, bro. Relax, bro.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, I don't know the people's
Free
lives.
love, baby.
Yeah, true. That's
It's 2023, y'all.
People have those open relationships.
We don't need your
I feel it.
We don't need your freaking titles, skips. We don't need your morals.
Bro. All right.
No, I'm just fucking around.
A tier Spider-Man.
Like I said, we got a
I'm not even
spicy
gonna get
episode
into it.
planned for you on that one.
None of this
Jeez. But we're gonna be coming at you once again real soon, y'all. Make sure you stay tuned. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, tomorrow I'm gonna be hitting y'all upside the head with like hella trailer reaction. You're gonna see so many trailer reactions on the channel. You're gonna be like, dude, would you calm the hell down? Because we're gonna be having all the Super Bowl trailers tomorrow. So all the most major trailers.
I want to see the
I'm gonna
Super
be
Bowl
dropping
trailers. I
review.
don't even know
Yep.
who's playing tomorrow. That's all I gotta say.
Same here.
Heck yeah.
But we barely found out before we recorded
Yeah,
this. I don't care who wins and who
realistically, yeah,
loses.
I know
But
who's playing.
Rihanna's coming back in halftime show, which is dope. And we got a bunch of trailers.
Maybe Rage
coming.
Against the Machine. How about that? I want to see a Rage Against the Machine
Fuck you, what did you tell me?
halftime show. I'm just kidding. There is no way.
That's like mid 2000s, if anything.
No, that's too much of a sell. I don't think they would do that.
Yeah,
Or
I
actually,
think
maybe
that.
they would have. Yeah, just
That'd have been incredible.
that would be crazy. Just
Rage and System of a Down.
Ooh,
That's my Super
would be
Bowl
nice.
halftime show.
That would be awesome.
Get on it, ABC, whoever the hell owns it. But don't you be sleeping on any of this dope content. We're growing subscribers every day. You people are beautiful. We love this community that we're building slowly and surely every single day. This channel ain't nothing without y'all, so make sure you remember that. Make sure you spread it around to all your friends, family, co-workers. Check out the audio feed. We got the podcast coming at you. Most of these major episodes are going to be on there. But we got video-only content. Make sure you don't miss out on it. We're going to catch y'all again real soon. One love. Peace out, y'all.
catch you in the flip side.
Peace.